Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're finally going to be able to check out the Diablo 4 beta. When the beta first dropped for the free beta weekend, and this is available to everyone, the queue times were half an hour, hour plus. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to wait till Blizzard gets its crap together. So finally, it's Sunday, March 26th, and I've been playing for about an hour or two now just to get my feet wet. This is not going to be an in-depth look at every single character and the best builds. There are plenty of other people out there that have played this game a lot longer. One of the reasons why I'm not going to play it a whole lot longer is simply because, well, according to websites I've read or seen, your progress gets wiped in the beta. So I don't want to spend hours grinding for something that's going to get erased anyway. Yes, there are a couple of beta rewards that you can earn that does carry over, but for the most part, like all of your progress and that gets wiped. So if you want to check out like what specifically you can earn in this beta that carries over, feel free to find another article or something, because I don't know. But anyway, so there are 5 different characters that players will have access to. If I hit create new character, you'll see that there's 5. There's the Barbarian, the Necromancer, the Sorcerer, the Rogue, and the Druid. I decided to pick the Druid class just because I don't know, in Diablo 2, I think I had a Druid that summoned like wolves and different animals, and I loved seeing like, what was it, like 3 to 7 wolves on the screen at once. That was really fun. But anyway, so you can change forms with the Druid, like werewolf, werebear, but I'm using this like Emperor Palpatine melee build where just I do a lot of AoE damage up close, and that helps me clear out mobs very quickly, but I don't do a whole lot of single target damage. And I'll show you my talent tree or skill tree in a moment. But the other classes I have not had a chance to check out yet, but pause if you want to see any of this in greater detail. The Rogue is a marksman, imbuements, and has traps that they can deal with. The Sorcerer has Frost, Pyromancy, and Shock, so your typical caster class, I suppose. Necromancer, Undead Army, Bone, Darkness, and Blood are their abilities. And lastly, the Barbarian, Berserking, Bleed, Walking Arsenal, and Unbridled Rage. What's cool, and what breaks the mold with Diablo 4, is that you can actually create the character once you select them. Like, in previous renditions of Diablo, if this character was male, then you were stuck playing a male character. You were stuck with whatever the avatar looked like. So if I click on Necromancer, for example, I'll actually be able to choose male or female, which is really cool. And then I do have some limited preset options here. So if I want to choose different faces, I could do that. But I can even go a step further than that. Just give me a normal face. I know it's a Necromancer, but okay. I guess. Okay. Customize. So from here, you'll be able to rotate the character and see what he looks like before you lock in everything. There's face variations here, skin tone, if you want to mess with different skin tones, eye color. Again, we're not talking Sims 4 level character customization here. This is just, pick from these preset different colors and off you go. Hairstyles, there's like 11 different hairstyles, at least for this character. There's facial hair that you can choose between. Hair color, you can mess with that as well. Makeup, jewelry, so you can mess with that. Markings, if you want any markings. Next, there's a hardcore mode where characters can die permanently. I choose not to do that. You are limited to a 12 character name limit. So, yeah. Once you create your character, I'm just going to get out of that. You'll be here, and you'll be able to choose your difficulty, and it's under this change world tier. There's 4 total, but only 2 are unlocked in this open beta: Adventurer and Veteran. I'm playing on Adventurer, and I'm still having a difficult time with it, only because I'm rushing. I'm not looking under every nook and cranny. I'm actually just rushing quests, trying to get stuff done and level up as quickly as possible to see what's out there, but I'm sure if I went slower and leveled up, I took the time to level up and move on to a different zone, it would be better. But anyway, Veteran is enemies are more challenging, and monsters give 20% increased experience. Monsters drop 15% more gold. You have to be a certain level in order to, well, at least it recommends that you be a certain level, and you have to unlock these by completing certain campaign quests or dungeons, what have you. So there's that. So there's 4 different difficulties there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start game and show you around a bit. Again, I'm not really going to go too deeply into like endgame content or anything like that. I am not going to spend a lot of time on something that's going to get erased anyway. Anyway, so here's town. I have run into a few bugs already. Actually, town is here. And as you can see, there are portals, fast travel points like in other Diablo games where you can zip around the map. What's different about this, however, is that this is open world rather than an instanced thing. And if you hover over a zone, in the very top middle, it says Undiscovered Level 7. And this says Undiscovered Level 12. Now, here's the thing. What I don't like is that the zones that, there's a minimum. Let's say this one, I think this one started at level 4 or level 6, okay? As you level up, the zones level up with you. So it scales based on your level. I don't like that. I love the feeling of going through a low-level zone with a high-level character and just wiping the floor with everyone just to practice, I picked up a different build or skill, or I want to try something different and see how good this is. Let me just find some trash mobs to kill real quick. No, everything levels up around you, and I don't like that. Now, I don't know if there's a maximum on these zones, but so far, everything's been leveling up around me, and I don't really care for it. I would prefer, the old World of Warcraft, this zone is 1 to 5, and this is 5 to 10, and this is 5 to 15, and so on. That way I clearly know where I stand, but as it stands, these used to be this was a level 4 zone right here, and now it's level 7 because I am currently level 7. So, open world map, but the zones have minimums, but they do level up as you do. Okay, so there's that. What's cool is that all of the quests that you pick up, whether they're side quests in blue or main quests in yellow, they do appear on this map and you can track them, but you can only track one at a time, which I don't like. I wish I could have multiple quests. Here's the journal off to my right, and I can cycle through them, but I can only have one active at a time. It's not like an MMORPG where you can have multiple quests off to the right and then just see them and track them as you go. Rather, you pick one, and yeah, it'll guide you toward that location, but I wish I could select multiple. Side quests, at least it does tell you what levels are appropriate. Secret of the Spring, for example, is level 1+, and Ravenous Dead is 7+, and so on. Now, there is a reputation system in this game, so completing objectives for different towns will grant you different reputation. I really haven't gotten a whole lot into that yet, but it's there. Collections, challenges, and clear dungeons to unlock different aspects. I haven't messed with this yet. I haven't gotten that far. But you'll be able to unlock different aspects that do different things, which is kind of cool. This aspect of Torment, for example, critical strikes with bone skills increase your essence regeneration by 20% for 4 seconds. These are just things that you have to unlock as you go. This is everything for the druid right here. So I love that there are things to shoot for as you play to give yourself an extra bonus in some way. Social stuff, there's just all your friends, you can mess around with that. Clan, you can join a clan or create a clan. If I hit create a clan, I can choose the clan name, clan tag, optional. It doesn't look like I have to spend gold or anything to do this, which is nice. In other mobile games, it's like, oh, spend 5,000 gold to create a clan. It doesn't look like that's the case here, so that's kind of cool. Under game, you've got options menu. Just pause if you want to see any of this in greater detail. I'm playing on medium settings right now. I have gotten bits of lag here and there, but for the most part, it's been pretty steady, and it's been pretty decent. I really haven't had any skipping or anything like that. But on occasion, Blizzard threw the beta store in my face, advertising that this is a beta and you should pre-order. That slowed up the game considerably for 10 seconds while I was waiting. Also, there was a point where I couldn't leave town. My character was running into this invisible wall. I had to teleport back to town and then I could leave. It was stupid. But anyway, my NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti seems to be doing okay on this. My GPU is currently at 33% utilization, and the GPU temperature is around 43 degrees Celsius. So Actually pretty well, considering that this is a graphically intensive game. Volume sliders here, voice chats. Yeah, there's in-game voice, which I have turned off because I use Discord for everything anyway. Text-to-speech, gameplay stuff. I love that you can reduce strobing and screen shake and all that jazz. It's really good. Again, just pause if you want to see any of this in greater detail. There's controls. I am frustrated by the current UI system. I don't like that I have to guess what the keybinds are. If I come out of here, for example, if looking at this UI, you tell me how I access my journal. Now, granted, J stands for journal. You could probably guess that J is journal. Fine. But my chief complaint is there's no, like, master keybind guide anywhere on my screen telling me everything that I can do. A, for example, brings up my abilities tree. I would see it as a skill tree or a talent tree. So when I hit T, oh wait, that's Town Portal. No, I don't want to do that, you know. So I'm not a fan of that. The fact that this UI is limited. If there's an option setting I missed, then I'll happy fess up to that. But it just seems like the UI is not completely there. Like, I feel like something in the corner. Just give me something in the corner. Every single important button that I would need to access other things. C for character, for example. That brings up my character sheet. And yes, like I said, C for character, hit C. Duh, right? But still, I would love for us old people some kind of keybind guide somewhere on the screen to tell me everything I could possibly hit. Or maybe like an F1 help button just to give me a quick list of the important things that I would need to do things day to day. Getting back to this, game options. There was social and accessibility. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into this. Font scale and colors, text to speech. Okay, fine. Okay, so we're about, what, 12 minutes in? I haven't really played anything yet, so apologies there. Pre-purchase, the game, I believe, is 60 with other versions, 60 or 70 with other versions being slightly more expensive. I think 60 is the base and 70 is like, I don't know, premium, and 90 or 100 is ultimate, something like that. Typical, extra stuff BS where, oh, you want this, special skin? Well, pay an extra $40. That's bull. Anyway, region progress, this is kind of cool. Hitting, what did I hit for that? Did I hit M? I must have hit some. This is what I'm talking about. How did I get to that screen? I don't know. I must have hit something. Collections, clan, game. Yeah. Alright, well, I did something. I don't know how I got there, but I hit something. Alright, maybe we'll come back to that later. Oh, hi, I want to pet the dog. I can't pet the dog. It's a shame. Why can't I pet the dog? Alright, well, let's get to the gameplay, shall we? Alright, so, again, let's just go down here and to the left. Or actually, there's a quest here. The Ravenous Dead. This zone up here. So I'm going to click on that, and I have to collect gold hearts. So I'll just head up this way. Speaking of abilities and skill trees, real quick. As far as I can tell, this is it. This is your skill tree. You start in the upper right-hand corner here, and this is your left mouse button. Whenever you basic attack, one of these will hit. So this Storm Strike, for example, this is what I'm currently specking into. I could also spec into Wind Shear and Earth Spike, but then I'd have to change out my main skills. So this, if I picked Wind Shear, I'd have to click and drag that down here, and then these two skill points are wasted. So I feel like you really have to just focus on one of these things rather than, you know, spread out, at least in this area. You do have the ability to refund, and so far, it doesn't cost anything. Now, again, there's really no information about this. My guess is that once you reach a certain level, that's when it'll start charging you. It's either that, or maybe the first refund is free, and then everything after that you have to pay for. I don't know. I haven't been playing it for that long to know. But you can refund your skills. If you go to skill assignment, everything that you've unlocked in that other tree will appear here. Like there's that. There's the one I have, Storm Strike, but if I also unlock this, I could drag it down here if I want to. Bringing this back up. So the upper right is where you start. This is your left mouse button. Once you spend enough points, you'll come down here, and this is your right mouse button. You'll be able to take things like Landslide and Pulverize, Shred, Shapeshift into a Werewolf, and Tornadoes, different things like that. But again, This is just your right mouse button. So, I'm guessing you'd want to focus on one thing here. Now, maybe, and I haven't gotten far enough yet, maybe you can slot one of these into the 1, 2, 3, or 4 slot. However, it seems like there's plenty of content that I've not gotten to yet that I kind of want to reserve for those skills instead. I think in the beta, you're limited to level 25, and the max level is 50. And there is a Paragon system, but I don't have access to it. I'm going to guess it operates the same way as prior Diablo games, where you just keep leveling past 50, and for every level, you get a Paragon point, and then you upgrade that way. I'm guessing. I haven't done it yet. Character, real quick. There's materials. What's cool is that you can collect materials like in Diablo 3 and craft different things. I haven't really gone into the crafting yet, but it is there. You'll find ore and herbs and different things to interact with in the environment. Typical of an RPG, action RPG, you hover your mouse over something and it'll tell you a negative or positive, telling you if the equipment is better or not. Yeah, no complaints here. Pretty straightforward. Profile. You can set yourself to public or private in this if you want to. If you hit edit, you can change your titles. Lethal Commoner. And you can unlock all of these different titles if that means anything to you. I think the titles are actually something that carries over from the beta into the final game if you do something special. But you'll be able to adjust your card and your title. So there's that. Okay, let's get to the gameplay, just so you can see what it looks like. As typical with an action RPG, bottom left, health. Bottom right is whatever your character's special consumable is. It could be mana in blue, it could be, in this case, spirit in green. In Diablo 3, the rogues was like yellow or something like that. Anyway, or orange. So, yeah, let's just go out. There's an herb there. Gameplay is very satisfying. I'm enjoying it. I'm noticing, and I don't know if it's just me, I'm noticing less enemies than in, say, Diablo 3. In Diablo 3, I was constantly inundated with, enemies everywhere. I've run into situations where I would run for a while and not see anything. It was really weird. I don't know if that's by design or not. You do have this dash ability. By hitting spacebar, you can dash. The downside is there's like a 4-second cooldown. Now, I don't know if there are skills that increase that over time or not, but there is a dash button that you can hit in order to, evade attacks or whatnot. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this game is trying to be like other action RPGs that are, more, that reward more skill-based play as opposed to just, destroy everything. You can queue up 4 health potions, and then when you hit Q, you use them. There's a gold heart there. I have to collect 2 more, and that's it. That was I'm using my right mouse button. Again, I've got this Emperor Palpatine thing going on. Okay, am I outside the zone? No, I'm inside the zone. Okay. I need more spirit. I am interested in trying out Necromancer next, because, not on the beta, of course, because I don't want my progress to get wiped, but I am really interested in trying out the Necromancer next, just because I like creating mobs that just go ham, like the old Skull Druid, summoning all these dire wolves. That's a lot of fun to me. Necromancer in the old school Diablo 3, or at least with the expansion, I loved creating, various skeletons and the like, just to, I wouldn't have to I would just sit back and watch the chaos happen. I have no idea what that was all about. Okay. Guess they're scared of something. I guess they were too close to town and they had to run away. Speak with Vigo. I am Vigo! You are like the buzzing of flies to him. Alright, skip cutscene. Okay. Reverend Mother. I'm gonna skip conversation. Yeah, I could care less about the story. I just want to level up and be good. Or be all-powerful. But That's typically every action RPG or MMO that I play. I have a feeling if I were to purchase this in the future, I would definitely take my time and do things better.
The damn hoist is stuck. We've got to go on foot.
Okay.
Look out!
Interestingly, there are certain areas where you have to jump over gaps or climb ladders, and that's with your spacebar sprint as well, your evade button.
It's mine now, girl. She gave it to me when I let her and her friend pass through.
Okay. But yeah, the Necromancer is definitely something I want to check out in the future at some point. The next class I would probably play is the Sorcerer, just because I'm a big fan of, like, ranged magic. Also, I played the... I think, was it the Huntress in Diablo 3? The one that could put down turrets? I loved that. I'm sincerely hoping that I have the ability to do something like that with this particular game. If you guys want to see, like, skill trees for each class, I highly recommend checking out other websites, because I'm not going to take the time to do all that. And other websites have already put in the work. And who wants to listen to me read off skills and talents for 45 minutes? Nobody wants that. You know? So. But from a first impression standpoint, like, this is okay. I'm still torn, to be honest with you. Is this like a $60 game? I don't know. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't played the game enough to really answer that question. Is, you know, maybe yes, there probably is a lot of different ways to customize via this ability tree and other things like that that I've simply not gotten to yet. But, like, I miss the old school Diablo 3. Like, mobs in this game that are special, like mortar enemies, for example, or wall enemies, like, you could clearly tell that they were special because they glowed in blue or yellow. In this game, like, I haven't seen a whole lot of that yet. Granted, I'm only, like, this skeleton captain, it just says skeleton, it looks like it was a shield. Alright, I'm looking for maybe an enemy that has some kind of special thing, and I'm not seeing it. And that brings me to another point. Like I said, this game, like, seems to have less enemies overall, and as a result, less special stuff. In Diablo 3, if you went into a zone, you were pretty much guaranteed 3 or 4 special mobs that had special behaviors and abilities every single time. And if you went into, in town, if you activated the portal, and I don't remember, the Nephilim portal, I think it was. Like this snowy skeleton captain, was he a special mob? I don't know. But if you went into that Nephilim portal in Diablo 3, by spending those keys or the shards or whatever, you had like 15 or 20 specials in just one level. And then you would move on to the next and fight more. That was fun to me. I really enjoyed that. This feels, I don't know, more lackluster and more boring. Not to say that it's a bad action RPG, and not to say that it's not fun. Like, the graphics, I mean, look at my character. Now compare that to Diablo 3. There's clearly more graphics here. Dude, seriously? There's 2 of you. You couldn't, like, beat them up for me? Anyway. What was that? I think he was dead. But yeah, I mean, just, if you zoom in, like, Diablo 3, I don't think had this level of detail, is what I'm saying. That being said, like, the gameplay, I still think that Diablo 3 had something that Diablo 4 currently doesn't have. And I have to stress that this is a beta, and I'm hoping that Blizzard, you know, I'm hoping that they're holding back. I sincerely hope that they're holding back, and they're going to release, like, the rest of the game, you know what I mean? Stuff that we clearly have no knowledge of or haven't seen yet. That's what I sincerely hope, because I liked the Diablo series. I spent a lot of time in the Diablo series, and I don't want this to become just another action RPG. And I really miss the ability to swap between the talents that I liked. In Diablo 3, I could customize my loadout anytime I wanted. I could put this skill, like there was a button that you could click on in Diablo 3, unlock everything, and put whatever skills you want in any of your 4 slots that you want, or right mouse button, and you can play around with so many different builds. In this game, you have to refund points and then redo everything. I don't like that. I miss the ability to, if I wanted to, I don't want this build anymore in Diablo 3. Let's just pick that one and that one and that one. I've unlocked it. So as long as you've unlocked it, you can assign it somewhere to your skill bar. I miss being able to do that because I don't... If there is a cost to respecking all of this stuff down the line, then I feel like I'm going to be penalized for wanting to try out new things. And I sincerely hope that's not the case. That would be a step backward, in my opinion. But again, keep in mind, I've only been playing for about an hour or two, so, maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe I'm mistaken about something, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of having to Google builds ahead of time. Let me kill this guy real quick. I am not a fan of Googling builds ahead of time. Like, Path of Exile, I felt like I needed an Excel spreadsheet to fully understand what was going on. I don't want to have to do that. I spent more time in looking up guides in Path of Exile because once you chose something, you were stuck with it. There were books or talents, or there were points that you could earn to go backward and undo certain things, but they were limited. So I hated that. I stopped playing Path of Exile because I was not given the freedom to try new things. Diablo 3 solved that by letting you swap out things on the fly. Here, respecking, skill, refund all. I miss being able to just swap back and forth, is what I'm saying. But I don't know. I need more time to really properly review this. But first impressions are kind of meh. It does some really cool things, but there are also some things that annoy me. So, will I buy it day one? I haven't decided. I'm on a budget right now because, I'm jobless and I filed for disability and I'm waiting for stuff. So, while I appreciate the support of my Patreon supporters, I simply am not getting enough money to drop $60 on a new game. Now, if I got a press copy, that'd be a completely different story, but that may not happen. Blizzard is less likely to send me a game than an indie developer. Oh, a totem. Whatever that is. Probably an offhand or something. Yeah, it's an offhand. Unfortunately, that would replace my two-handed staff. Sucks anyway. So, yeah, hopefully this, first impression / overview helped you decide whether or not you'd want to pick this up for yourself. don't get me wrong, there's probably going to be a lot of playtime here, just for, 5 classes, and I'm level 8 right now, and I've spent, I think, 2 hours playing this. So, if I had to guess, maybe 10 to 20 hours, maybe even more, to get to level 50 when the game does come out, and then Paragon points. $60 and 5 characters and maybe 20 to 30 hours per character plus, that's a decent value. The question now becomes, is it fun enough to want to keep grinding that many hours? And that's what I'm still trying to figure out. But yeah, that was Diablo 4. The open beta, I think, possibly ends today, but it should be coming out soon, so I guess keep an eye out. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I've been to publish. This is Vince, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.